Hi, I'm Bruce Kivo. Welcome to MMA Confidential Talk. Here with my buddy Peter Storm from the Underground Combat League. Peter, a lot's going on right now. You got a lot on your plate. You're supposed to fight Shawn Obasi. What's going on with that?
Well, if he shows up, then the fight is on. If not, there's nothing I could do about it. You know, the guy's got more stories than, you know, he's getting signed to this big league. He's fighting for Strikeforce. M1 wants him back. I mean, it's a whole bunch of stories. You know, the guy's a coward. You know, I've never met a Nigerian guy who's scared of mice. And
He's scared of mice?
Yeah. I was in his house one day, and he jumped on the sofa screaming. And I swear I didn't know what it was. And it was a mouse that was just running by.
Wow.
Most Nigerians eat tigers, but this guy, he's, you know.
Wow.
It's something funny about him, you know. So anyway, I'm going to beat him up and end his career.
The hype on the internet's like amazing with this fight. You know, everybody wants to see the fight. You guys were supposed to fight in July. What's holding up the fight now?
Well, he's always got an injury or an excuse. So let's see what the next.
You think it's going to go down, or?
I'm ready. Doesn't matter to me. You know, he hypes it up because he does nothing with his life but hang out in front of a computer all day. You know, so I mean that's where the hype's coming from. You know, the guy just he's a self-promoter and he's good at it. So.
Yeah, he got a lot of hits when we did a show with M1.
When he cried?
Yeah. Well, you know.
Yeah, he cried. Yeah. Everybody loves to see a grown man cry. So.
And you know, the UCL, the Underground Combat League, is getting a lot of hype. Brian Mattel started there. Frankie Edgar, the answer, the world champion. UFC world champion, started there. Let's say the MMA does get legalized in New York. How will that change your life, and how will that change the Underground Combat League?
Well, the UCL is a brand, so it's not going anywhere. It's just now what's going to happen is we're going to have to adapt to certain rules and regulations that we weren't normally used to. You know, so I mean, it's the brand is going to be there, the brand is going to sell, and the brand's going to produce stars. So under whatever rules and regulations we got to do it by, we'll do it.
How is, if it becomes legalized, MMA, how is that going to change your life?
It won't change my life at all. I mean, it'll probably just put more money in my pockets.
So what do you see, the legalization, what do you see happening in New York?
I mean, eventually it's going to get done, you know. I mean, the right changes were made as far as the powers that be. You know, they brought in some of the right people so far.
And a lot of things happening. I know I've been doing a documentary with you for a while. Yeah. Tell us about the documentary. The
documentary is entitled Welcome to the Underground. You could find out more about it on IMDb. Basically, it follows a year in the Underground Combat League, and it was a real interesting year. You know, we had some amazing fights that year, and just, I mean, a lot of behind the scenes that people just wouldn't, you know, can't even think of. You know what I mean? So, showed it to a couple of people, and the reviews were always just, you know, like, wow. People
I know.
Like, wow.
We all watched it together. It's like unreal, and I'm glad to participate in it. It's unbelievable.
You're in it. You're definitely in it.
It's unbelievable. Yeah. And you know, you're a manager, promoter. You train fighters. Before we talk about your training and you know what you're doing as a trainer and a manager, what's the toughest thing about being a promoter? Is that a lot of pressure? Yeah,
it's a lot of pressure because you want to satisfy the people who are paying money to come to your shows or supporting your shows. So it's definitely a lot of pressure. That's, for me, that's really the only pressure.
How about at the last minute, like just before the shows, maybe an hour or two before it's going on, fighters back out? What's going on with that?
I mean, that always happens. That happens in every show. You know, I mean, most shows, especially a show at my level, it always happens. It's something you should expect. You know, but you always gotta have plan B, C, D, and you know, I'm usually always ready. You know,
is that pretty scary when you don't know who's fighting?
Yeah, it is, and it isn't. You know, and it is for the most part because again, you want to satisfy the people who are coming to support. You know, I mean, the last show I had one fighter come 2 hours late, and once he came, we started the show. You know, so I mean, that's just you know, just kind of an idea of how things are sometimes.
And what's the Supremacy video game about?
Right
I
now,
know you're involved in that.
Yeah. Right now, I'm working on a video game called Supremacy as a consultant, and basically, you know, MMA is the big thing now. So now every video game publishing company they want to get in on it.
And tell us about SaveValleyTudo.com. That's your website.
SaveValleyTudo.com. That's the official website of the UCL. You won't get any information on any upcoming shows, but you'll get information on shows that, you know, the past results, and you'll get actually information on my upcoming grappling league, the Renegade Grappling League.
Okay. A final question. The rules in the UCL are different than the rules in most MMA shows. If you could change the rules in MMA, like in the UFC or Strikeforce,
right,
what rule would you change?
I would definitely allow knees to the head. Definitely allow knees to the head, because I think it's something that that's needed, just to bring a little more element of danger and excitement to the actual fights.
Hey, thanks, Peter, for stopping by, man. Thanks for the time, brother. You heard it first, MMA Confidential Talk, and we'll see you at the fights.
Want more? Go to inasectv.com to connect with the world of sports. Real-time updates, blog postings, and all the action you can handle in a sec. Inasectv.com, connecting you to the world of sports.